Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the third web series of the 1 Hour Talk Show powered by Chrysanthemum Chronicles. You all know me, I'm your host, Monalisa Joshi, the founder and director of CC, Chrysanthemum Chronicles. Um, today we have a very interesting guest with us, but before I introduce you, let me give a little brief, and I have some kind of concept that is also going inside my mind. So before we start the session, let me first ask you that do you believe in karma? Do you feel that our deeds have a greater impact on our past, present, and future? If yes, then who is keeping the track of all our deeds? Is there any universe where it's all getting recorded? Well, I believe in the energy of universe and the power of good and honest deeds. And if we have to talk about it, I'm sure it's going to be a vast topic to discuss about. So without further ado, let's invite a very special guest for today, Miss Itu with Chopra. And I'm going to invite her. Good evening, Ituji.
Good evening,
How are
Namaste,
you?
Monalisa. Thank you so much. I am good. How are you?
I'm great. So welcome to the Vana Talk Show, and it's really an honor to have you today.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so let me
Pleasure's all
introduce.
mine.
Yeah. So let me give the audience a little introduction about you. It is the founder at Therapy, co-founder at Rex Ideas for Action, mission leader Rex Karamveer Global Fellowship and Chakra Awards, co-founder at Rex Karamveer Education Change Champion Fellowship and Chakra Awards. She's also a co-founder at IVLF International Volunteering and Life Skills Fellowship. She has had extensive learning working on various therapy healing modalities such as sound therapy, reflexology, yoga, nutrition therapy, crystal therapy, journaling therapy, talk therapy, conscious parenting, health, and that's a lot of things that it does. So really, hats off to you. So let me start with the questionnaire, but I really want to ask first of all that how did you start this all these practices, and how did you come into this field of karmic theory and all related to all these stuffs?
Yeah, karmic therapy is the name of the work that I do, and I just came upon it once. I was just sitting when I started my work. But Mona, I'd like to take you back that I come from a family of educationists, and I'm the fifth generation educationist in our family. My great
Wow.
great grandmother in the 1900s was a school teacher. Then my great grandmother, and my grandmother wasn't, but she was looking after my grandfather's real estate. My mother was the principal of a high school at 21. My father is a
Yeah.
professor, and my sister also did a stint in teaching, and I was a teacher for 16 years, taught across the country for 16 years. I loved teaching, I loved learning, and all of that was part of me. But another part of me was restless and wanted to do more, learn more, explore more. And this psychic ability, or this ability to know more than you know, was very
Okay.
heightened in me. And I say this is nothing that I
From the
have
childhood, you
from my
had these.
childhood.
Okay.
Absolutely, from my childhood, and I could see it, but I didn't know how to kind of pinpoint it. I felt a little out of place. I thought about it, and I would keep quiet because I would know things behind the doors. I could know
Mhm.
things across the seas. I could know
Okay.
so many things, and but I didn't know how to put it across.
Mhm.
And it went on, and it all attracted me so much. And that's why, even while I was, and then I shifted to corporate social development. I'm a fundraiser as well.
Okay.
I have done my programs from Harvard Business School and all that. I spent about 10 years in the corporate and social development. But one fine day I knew I wanted to just stop all this and start doing what I felt so much for. I felt
Mhm.
attracted to it. I felt inclined towards it. But the good part is that nobody, questioned me on why I wanted to do it. I went ahead and did a lot of courses parallelly. Even
Okay.
while I was teaching, I was training, I was a fundraiser, I was traveling around the world, but I kept doing courses on the side. And I kept
Okay.
doing my own research and working towards it.
Hmm.
And but one fine day, I said, I'm quitting my job. and I didn't know what
Okay.
I'm going to really do. But I
Hmm.
knew that I really want to help people. I want to use my skills and
Hmm.
my what are the gifts I have. So
Okay.
I seriously started doing life coach and wellness work. So I'm a life coach and a wellness work under which I use all these therapies and gifts to help people meander through mountains of life.
So you have taken courses of all these therapies, or you just learned by the down the line?
So there are two. I have done courses, and courses I
Okay.
did because I wanted to understand what is it taught, what I feel is also correct, or what, yes, there is more to learn. So I did courses, I did hands down learning, and I also
Okay.
did a lot of study and research because a
Hmm.
part of me is esoteric, metaphysical, but a part of me is very analytical and rational. If something
Okay.
I'm talking is not uh, does not have an answer in my rationality, my own
Hmm.
rationality, then how would I
Okay.
convince someone else? So I wanted
Okay.
to do research on all the forms of energy. I call them
Hmm.
forms of energy that I work
Okay.
with, so that I can bring the rationality and also the research behind the science behind it. Because, like
Okay.
anything else, it's an art, a craft, and a science. But you need to
Yeah.
know that. So I spent a
Okay.
lot of time in those research to find out what is the science behind it, what is the research behind it, what is the
Hmm.
energy that we talk of
Hmm.
behind it.
So very easily accepted while doing all these things, because people usually refrain from such, okay, she's doing such kind of therapies and all. So did you really fit in? It was easy a path for you to carve.
So, Mona Lisa, that's a very nice question because, for me, honing those skills or doing those courses was an intellectual pursuit because I
Okay.
was doing it for my intellectual pursuit. I wanted to learn, and
Mm-hmm.
also because it attracted me a lot. But
Okay.
the day I accepted myself that I want to come out with it and talk about it to people and speak about it openly with
Mm-hmm.
rationality,
Okay.
everyone accepted it. So the
That's nice.
so this is one thing that I tell everyone, and even in life coach work, that the day you accept yourself, the world accepts
Mm-hmm.
you. But if you won't
Very.
accept yourself, nobody will accept you, and that's the truth of life.
That's a very nice mantra you have given, actually. I
Yeah.
think it will help many people, because acceptance is a big thing, and self acceptance is the most important thing.
And based on that, during the time I was going through this, I call it my churning period. And the
Okay.
churning period was about 2, 3 years. It took me
Okay.
2, 3 years to kind of come out of it. And I first took a sabbatical of 6 months to really know what I wanted to do. And during that sabbatical, I started learning pottery. So I do pottery
Mhm.
as well. And I
Okay.
started writing.
Okay. That's
And
nice.
both these things help me to really know my creative side and also gave
Mm-hmm.
me a lot of peace of mind. And also, it's meditative because writing is meditative and so is
Yeah.
pottery. Both the things are so meditative and they help me to go deep inside me and to understand and accept myself and then come out.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So are you now contented, or is the churning period over? What would you say?
Yeah, I'm very content and I'm so glad I did this because when I did come out with my
Mm-hmm.
psychic abilities, with my life coach and wellness coach work, with all the work that I do, I also came upon another part of the Rex Karambir work that we do. And I can't
Okay.
tell you, I have found my purpose and calling in life. And I think
Wow.
that's the biggest thing that we all are looking for, to find your purpose and calling in life. And I'm at a great sense of contentment. I'm absolutely content. And I always tell people that I did not worry that I'm
Hmm.
leaving a job that paid me really, really well because I was working for an international NGO. But money is also energy. Like
Okay.
anything else in life, money is also energy. So
Hmm.
you can actually make that energy if you are
Okay.
working towards what you're doing. And if imagine if we are happy, content,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
absolutely passionate about what we do. And when I
Hmm.
say passionate, I'm using the word from the Latin. The word in Latin is passio, which means
Okay.
enduring.
Mm-hmm.
um, going through the mill and the drill and the grill. It doesn't mean that passion that we talk of on Valentine's Day. Passio
Yeah.
means going through the mill and the drill, enduring it. And
Hmm.
when you do that, you actually find your passion and your calling in life. And I am so glad that I found it. And a lot of people on the way helped me. And I am absolutely humbled to say that I'm very lucky that I found it. So, yes, absolutely content and happy.
That shows.
Thank
It
you.
shows otherwise. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, okay, let me take the first question.
Sure.
Well, I'm a layman into all this, so my questions might sound like, they're coming from a novice person, but
Nobody's a layman, Mona. I'm going to learn with you with your questions because you
but
don't
I'm
know
going
what.
to learn a lot from you today. So, here's the first question. What does the karma theory say, and do karmic actions actually exist? Like when we do a good deed, does it really affect our present and future? So, I
So,
really would
Mona
love.
Lisa, yeah, I'd like to take back to the word karma. Does just the word karma? It is not linked with any religion. I
And
don't believe in any religion. I really don't believe. I'm not a practice. I don't practice any religion. For me, karma means the actions that we do,
hmm,
and your actions when done with the vibration that you're doing. If the
yes,
action is done with the vibration of love,
mm-hmm,
the end result will be love. If the
yeah,
action is done with compassion, the end result will be compassion. If it is done with kindness, the end result will be kindness. And if it is done with jealousy, the end result will be jealousy. If it is done with hatred, it will be the
yeah,
same effect. Also, these are all vibrations and energies. So these
okay,
energies are within us. So
okay,
karma, if it affects our thoughts, and our
okay,
thoughts make our body, and our thoughts make our DNA, and our thoughts wire and fire what happens in our mind. So you can
yeah,
imagine, just even before acting upon it, what are you doing to yourself?
yeah,
So that's how karma is. It's actions. It's simply put as actions. What are your
mhm,
actions? How do
okay,
you take forward? And I think it is all within our hands. We all know
hmm,
it what we are doing. When I
hmm,
used to teach English literature, and I used to tell my students that devil is very enticing,
okay,
devil is very alluring, and when I
absolutely,
say devil, I mean something that we are not supposed to do, something that hinders our integrity, something
yeah,
that is against our ethics and ethos
hmm, hmm, hmm.
as human beings. But it seems very alluring and uh, you know
Inviting, kind of,
and that's where we need to stop ourselves and say, do I need to really go that path? Do I really need to do? So we have to stand there and say, and the opposite of that is something. If the hard work is not easy, life is
yeah,
not easy,
true,
life is not easy for anyone. So yes, you have to. So you can actually pave your path through your actions, and
hmm,
if you translate that into the word karma, and I think from there only the word that I believe in is that came out. That's why I named my work as karmic therapy, because
okay,
I help people to think and
hmm,
act.
okay,
I don't should I don't advise like a life coach or a life coach and a mentor is not supposed to tell you do
hmm,
this. I'm
okay,
not an advisor. I'm not a consultant, but I will help you to think what you
okay,
should be doing which is best for you. So that's how the name came. And as karma would be in game, all our work at Rex is also called Rex Karamveer. Everything
okay,
is called Karamveer, Karma Kari. We call it Karamveer. So
okay,
because I believe in action, and the Rex work we believe in actions. And one of
okay.
our slugline is not just talks but ideas for action.
And Rex stands for?
Rex stands
Uh,
for R for right, E for
okay,
every, wrong as in cross, wrong.
okay,
Right,
okay.
every, wrong.
Oh, wow. That's a nice, you have given this,
Yeah,
what should I say? A name,
acronym.
acronym. Okay. So it's a nice one. And so this is your karmic therapy is different and Rex is different, or it is like
Absolutely. So Rex
okay,
is not. I'm not the founder. I'm the
okay,
co-founder there. It was founded by Jeronimo Almeida,
okay.
who's a crusader and a consultant, an HROD person, and a
Hmm.
coach. And
Okay,
I'm the co-founder. But
okay.
under that, we started a lot of initiatives.
Hmm.
Uh, we've gone into schools and colleges, and for teachers, and we have our flagship program, which is called the Rex Karavi Global Fellowship, which
Okay.
we've been doing for 17 years. So we
7
have a lot
years.
of initiatives. Yeah, and
But
it's a movement actually. It's not an
okay,
organization. It's a movement. Our movement
okay.
is called Right Every Wrong.
Very nice. It's a very great initiative you have started. And I think it's a very long period as well, 17 years.
So I haven't started it. It was started by the founder,
But
Jerry
you are the
Almeida.
co-founder and you have given
I am
ideas.
part of it. Yes.
That's nice. Okay, so well, how I'm always curious about knowing more about the universe because I believe in the energy of universe. I won't say that I believe in a form of God or particular deity, but I believe that whatever we are doing, it is all getting watched from somewhere, and that I believe it's universe. So my question is something related to that. How does the universe work in sync with our karma? And do you believe that there is a God who's actually watching over our actions, or it's more of a cycle? What goes there comes back to us.
I would say it's a cycle, and
Okay.
God is within each of us, as is
Yeah.
given in our Upanishads, that is as it's given in all religions. That God is really, really within us, and
Hmm.
we are the creator, and we are everything, and we are
Yeah.
nothing at the same time. And
Very true.
secondly, I feel God is nature. For me, God is nature. If you just
Hmm.
look around, every little thing in nature, be it soil, be it plants, animals, flora, fauna, or any other natural phenomena,
Hmm.
um, there is nothing bigger than that power. And we can never ever, no matter how big we become, how scientifically advanced we become, we can never ever overpower that. So
Okay.
nature is God for me, and I think God resides within us, and we are the creator. So whatever you want to do, you can do. And I also say that your choices make your destiny, and
True.
choices again is your karma. Your choices make your destiny. There is nothing as fate and destiny. You create
Hmm.
choices, you make choices, and you create the future. So the
Okay.
future is in our hands.
So, is there anything
Every
called a bad
action.
choice or a good choice?
Pardon?
Does that happen?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, by
If
the
you make
bad
a
choice.
bad choice, you
Okay.
then you can't blame that my fate is bad and my destiny is bad because you made that choice. And if you make the
Okay.
right choice, the path will be also brighter and better.
Hmm.
Very recently, last month only, we at Rex Karam we redefined, rephrased, and resung the song called K Sera Sera, which says. Uh, the future is not ours to see ke sera sera. Whatever
Okay.
will be. You know that song, that song? Very
Never
famous.
I've heard. Yeah.
Sera sera, whatever will be. The future is not ours to see. Ke sera
Yeah.
sera. Imagine we
Hmm.
have been taught this lesson. We've grown up on these words. So we've rephrased it that the future is yours to make, and it's your responsibility. So imagine children knowing this, that we can create our future and it's our responsibility,
Hmm.
because otherwise the song is fatalistic, frivolous, and futile, and it makes
Yeah.
you think, "No, you can take what comes by your way." But here we are
Hmm.
saying, hey, you can actually change your life
Yeah.
by the choices you make. So your life is in your hand. So you become the creator. And when you
Okay.
become the creator, you become the God.
Very
And
nice.
I'm saying in a very humble way. In a
Yeah.
very humble way that yes, I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, imagine every child having that energy and that thought. And that because we believe that every child has innate potential to
Hmm.
create whatever they desire. Because
True.
that's how they are created.
Yeah. Very true. So, well, again, it's related to karma, something that I feel I want to explore a lot and I want to
Go
know a
ahead.
lot. So, it is believed by many people, and I believe it too, that we should not carry the burden of our past. That is true. So, but does karmic debt theory actually exist? Like we get to face one more time the past in the present to make it correct, or it's just a myth?
Um, I'd like to answer your question in a way that there's something that we carry from the past, and
Okay.
everything that we carry from the past, be it good experience or a bad experience,
Hmm.
stays within us, in our energy body, in our
Okay.
emotional mind. And when the experiences are bad, the
Hmm.
somatic body will
Hmm.
have physiological symptoms.
Can you just explain what is somatic body? I have
Your
no idea.
somatic body, it will start showing in your physiology.
Okay.
So you may have very heavy shoulders. You may
Okay.
start having palpitation at a slightest trigger.
Mm-hmm.
You may have migraines. You
Okay.
may feel this, in your gut something, and you feel everything is falling down. So these are all somatic symptoms. Or you may have depression, or you may have eye problem, or you may have headache. So
Mm-hmm.
so we when we bring in not the beautiful from the past, it goes within our body, it goes
Mm-hmm.
within our mind, and we need
Okay.
to cut that cord. And we all know it, that
Hmm.
anything from the past which doesn't serve us in present doesn't
Hmm.
need to be with us. So there is something called cutting of the cords, which is used by the psychologists also. It's a
Okay.
research work, that how do you need to disconnect yourself from the past, which is not pleasant. But
Hmm.
anything that is beautiful or a lesson can be
Hmm.
learned, because then your now and future can be better. So yes, things from the past. I don't know if I'm talking past as in past tense, not past
Okay.
lives.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
So anything
Yes.
from your childhood, if you carry trauma, if you
Hmm.
carry trauma from your adolescence time, if you carry trauma from even last year, if you carry trauma from March to October, November 2020,
Hmm.
it will show in your body somewhere. It will show as somatic symptoms somewhere, and it will bring a change in you.
Okay.
But if you carry the beauty and the learnings, that too will show in it. So yes, it does affect your mind a lot and your body a lot. So
Hmm.
physiologically and psychologically, it does make a difference.
So it affects somewhere. It might affect our present if we like
Of course, it
cling to
affects
it.
your glands, affects your energy. And
Hmm.
energy is nothing but, in our body, our energy centers are our glands. They're
Okay.
all energy centers, and they go haywire when our thought process goes haywire, because everything is actually between the ears.
Okay.
So I
And what if,
think,
sometimes I've seen that some incidents they come uninvited, unexpected. We are not ready for them. So is it because something related to the past, or maybe it is kind of
no,
why it
no,
happens? Because
it
if we
happens
are
because life, tell me something. Life is a challenge. If
yeah.
you if you sit down with anyone,
Hmm.
even the brightest and the most accomplished person or richest person on the face of the earth, if you sit down with them, if you open their life, they have challenges. So life is challenges. That's what I'm saying when we said K Sirasara. Who said life is not going to be challenges? Who said life is going to be beautiful? What is the definition of beautiful in life? But I think what is beautiful is that
How
when
we make
challenges come to us, we are prepared to say, yes, I'm
hmm.
in a shit pond. I'm going to choose to walk through it, not sit in it.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's
Yes.
the kind of ability, capability, and capacity that we all have. But we have
Yes.
to have faith in ourselves. And
That's
that's
true.
where people around us matter, energy around us matter. That's where energy comes. If there is this din around us all the time that, yeah, you can't do it, you are not good enough, what have you done, you'll actually start feeling I can't do it. But if you just
And if somebody, I'm sorry to cut you short, but if somebody is surrounded with negative people who are on, continuously putting this thing in their mind that you cannot do this, and somewhere I guess it might affect the, thinking process, and it will also affect the karma. So, how
it
can
will
one
affect your
overcome that?
actions. That's where the resilience and the grit of the human mind and human capacity has to come out. And that's why there are stories of teen to tell us about the grit and the resilience of unsung heroes that we talk of at Rex. These
Yeah.
are unsung heroes like Dashrath Manji, Suhasini Mistry. I would request everyone to go and Google them and find out. These are all Rex Karavir fellows. Dashrath
Okay. Wow.
Manji comes from a community of Musahar. Musahar means people who eat Musa. Musa means rats. So they
Okay.
are untouchables within the untouchables, even today. But
Wow.
this man
Okay.
lost his wife because he couldn't cross the mountain to take her to the hospital. And 10
Yeah.
hours in the morning, 5 hours in the night, 5 hours in the evening, he would work. And in the day, he would go and do the yadi. Not for
Mm-hmm.
anyone, just for the fact that I'm going to cut this mountain, no other woman should die. So, do you
Yeah.
think anyone is less than him? He comes from that community of Musahar, but he did it. It took
Yes.
him 22 years to cut that 18 kilometers road. But he did it with his chisel and hammer. Small chisel, small hammer. People used to
This is
call him
something
Green Man,
unbelievable. Yes.
and he did it. And
Yes.
he is our inspiration at Rex. He couldn't come because he died
Okay.
before he could come for the Rex Karamvi, but he is our inspiration, and that's what we believe, and that's what I believe, that each one of us has that potential to cut the negativity around us and do
Yes.
what we are meant to do
Hmm.
and actually bring out our best.
Yes. Yes.
I,
Very true.
I'm not saying just because I'm supposed to say it, because these stories in the Karma Kari books that
Hmm.
Jerry writes, these are stories of the people that we at Rex meet every day. Every year in the conclave, we meet such people who
Mm-hmm.
are who've shown us that it's possible. Suhasini Mystery, a maid, her husband died of diarrhea, and when she was told that you could have saved him, and
Okay.
how she was a maid and then she went on to become a vegetable seller, has made one of the best known hospitals in Calcutta.
Hmm. Wow.
She's risen up to do that, and she's not educated. She's never been to school. She's done it. Or Tulsi Munda, who's created 20 schools, never been to school. So if they can do it, what stops us to cut the negativity around us? So we have
True.
to have that energy to be able to cut that. And that's exactly what I do as a life coach and a wellness coach.
Oh, very
I
nice.
help people to unfold their wings that they have tied and soar high and fly so that they never need to.
Very nice. That's really good. Okay. So the next question is something that nowadays every more and more people are coming out with, and they're talking about it because many people are also suffering and they don't let it out. These are some feelings or emotions. It is called known as depression. So, is it actually a mental condition or a certain kind of mood swing that stays for longer than any other human emotion like despair or sadness? And how can one know that he is suffering from it and when to approach medical help or any other sorts of help?
So, so I work extensively with mind health issues. Depression, anxiety is a very common thing, and it's a very normal thing.
Okay.
Also, mental
Because,
issues. Pardon?
yeah, no,
Men-
I'm sorry, you go ahead.
go ahead, Mona.
I was just saying because we mostly get to see it through like television and all the media that so and so that celebrity is going through depression. He committed this, that she committed that kind of took that step. So depression has become a kind of word that it remains like okay. So the rich people are suffering more with this. So is it like very common?
It is very common also to understand that we we have a body, and
Hmm.
brain is part of the body. If
Yeah.
things can go wrong with other parts of the body, you get diabetes, you get sugar, you get cancer, nobody says
Okay.
anything, nobody questions. But if something happens to your mind, people question it.
Hmm.
99% of us, 99.9% of us have some or the other issue. We have
Yeah.
it.
Hmm.
It's
True.
normal. It's absolutely okay to have it. But yes,
Hmm.
when it becomes something that you can't handle, something that makes you not even go ahead and do normal things in life, makes you sad all the time, makes you, the thought of ending your life keeps reoccurring in your life. You feel, no, I'm not good enough, I'm not happy, I don't match up to anything in life, I don't match up to people in my life, I don't, the recurring thing is
Yeah.
something that you should then take cognizance of and seek help. Sometimes the only help that you lot of people need is someone to just talk to,
Yes.
someone who doesn't judge them. And this
Hmm.
also comes as a society, as a world. We judge people.
Judge people.
We
That
very,
is the
very
biggest problem,
loosely,
I guess.
yes, we very, very loosely use the word mental as a
Hmm.
joke also. तो mental है.
Hmm. Hmm.
Are you lunatic? Or
Hmm.
things like that. Pagal hai.
Hmm.
It's a
Hmm.
very
Hmm.
normal. And
Hmm.
when people feel like that and they act a little differently, because all when someone is going through is seeking help and asking for help. And we
Yes.
as a society or as a family or as parents also sometimes say,
Hmm.
distract
Hmm.
yourself. Why are you
Yes.
thinking about it? Why don't you
Hmm.
do this? Why don't you watch too much of TV or you watch too much of phone? But the other person is actually asking for help.
Asking for
So I
yes.
think as a society also we need to be a little more sensitive and
Yes.
little more accommodating and little more encompassing to the fact that yes, we can go through it. So a
Hmm.
simple way I tell people that even while we are driving in the traffic, it can be a trigger because it's
Hmm.
maddening to go into traffic, isn't it?
Hmm.
It can trigger stress. Um,
Yes.
in the COVID times, I've had a lot of people who've had problems in mind health
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
because it's a trigger. So there are
Okay.
so many triggers, and imagine uh, we have been having conversations and we've been talking about it that the bigger pandemic that was looming large on us is mental health,
Hmm.
especially young people, women, because
Yes. Yes.
we are told, we are conditioned socially to say कि
Hmm.
नहीं
Hmm.
करना, ये distract करो, अपने आप को
Okay.
मत सोचो. So
Hmm.
you should think about it and talk about it. Find someone to talk, safe places to talk, safe person to talk, someone
Hmm.
who's very objective about what you're doing, someone who's not judgmental, and
Hmm.
simple things can help.
And I think this particular fear of being judged, that is what stops, somebody to talk about their
All the time.
condition. They are going through
Even at home,
depression.
the fear of being judged by your parents, by your sisters, by family, by society. It's a lot of fear, and in that
Yeah.
fear, commit things that we may not want to do. And I
Hmm.
help people with two things that I help people with who are going through mental health is talk therapy and journaling therapy, writing. I help
Okay.
them with it. And of course, the other modalities that I work with in sound therapy and all that, they also help. Color therapy, food therapy, because
Okay.
all of this helps to align, recharge, and charge our internal energy. Because
Okay.
everything is internal. And when you change yourself,
Hmm.
when you shift your energy, I would rather say, when we
Hmm.
shift the energy within our body, then the
Hmm.
energy outside of us also changes.
So
How
how
I
do
see things will, my perspective, my mindset will shift. And when that
hmm.
shift happens, that is the real shift that we need.
But for that, I guess the first step should be, you need to talk about your problems. because most of the time I've seen women, when I started this, the platform, literary platform, I also came across some women who were like, they were going through depression, and I won't name them because it is like, through their poems, their works, I could read.
Yeah.
So I think that is also kind of healing, if you are able to, vent out your thoughts, even if you're not talking about it, but if you are writing or doing something, that also helps.
It really really helps, and the first uh, you know point of healing is acceptance. If I
Hmm.
accept that I have an issue,
Hmm.
then when I accept it, only then I can shift it. So
Yes.
acceptance is very very important, even in psychological terms and research and the um, graph. I'd like to I don't know how can I show you. We talk about the acceptance is very very important,
Okay.
and the minute we accept, things begin to shift and change.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about some of our therapies that you use, and I would really love to know more about them. So
Yeah.
you use modalities like sound therapy, crystal therapy, Reiki, and reflexology. So is this all kind of a spiritual healing or some other form? I really would like to know more about them because these are something totally new for me.
Yeah.
I've heard about Reiki, but I'm not aware what actually happens in it. And I've seen some crystal stones. And because earlier one of my aunt used to do it, but I was very young at that time, so I'm not aware.
So I am a Reiki master. I've done my all levels of Reiki.
Okay.
And first and foremost, I'd like to clear one thing, that what is spirituality for me? My
Okay.
definition of spirituality, or what I feel is spirituality. Spirituality is absolutely celebrating the human spirit.
Okay.
Celebrating the human spirit,
Hmm.
because we are on a we are spiritual beings on a human journey. This
Hmm.
journey that we have, this life, which is finite,
Okay.
which is numbered. We are on this journey. We are on this journey. We are all spiritual beings, everyone, and spiritual has nothing to do with any religion. Spiritual
Hmm.
has everything to do with within us, the acceptance, the knowing of who we are. So
Hmm.
So the methods or the therapies or the modalities that I use are all based on energy, because
Hmm.
world or the universe is energy. Everything is energy. Every little thing in the universe is energy. So why
Hmm.
can't, and we are all portals of energy. Within us there are energy. And very
Okay.
scientifically, as I was telling you earlier, our seven major
Chakras.
centers. Seven are major. We have 120 energy centers in our body, but the
Okay.
seven major energy chakras are
Hmm.
around our glands, are all
Okay.
around the glands: hypothalamus, pineal, thyroid, heart and lungs,
Okay.
colon. Then the sixth chakra, or the second chakra, you can take it up and down, has the
Okay.
most number of hormones producing organs: the liver, the kidney, the pancreas, the prostate, the uterus, the fallopian tubes, the ovaries. And that chakra is called Swadhisthana, which
Okay.
translates, which in Sanskrit, it's a word called Swadhisthana, which means the seat of my being. It gives us who am I? Am I a woman
Hmm.
or a man? And who am I?
Okay.
And you know, and then the root chakra, because it grounds us, because it's linked to our rooting or our sensuality or our materialistic pleasures or materialistic yearnings in life.
Hmm.
So all we in ourselves are beings of energy, and when our glands are energy centers, from
Hmm.
where the neurons or the energies is transmitted to all parts of our body. And
Okay.
anything that happens goes awry with our glands, there would be psychological and physiological symptom.
Okay.
There always is. And I, by the grace of God, can actually understand the chakras through voice, through sound therapy. So
Wow.
how does that help? So that is one. The modalities like sound therapy in the universe, again,
Hmm.
there are huge number of natural sounds, like the
Hmm.
sound of breeze, the sound of birds, the sound
Okay.
of waterfall, the sound of sea, the sound of thunder, the sound of fire. These
Hmm.
all have a frequency. And
And if
how
you
do
listen to them, they do actually make a soothing and calming effect if somebody is actually
absolutely,
listening. It really does.
absolutely. So,
I love
the different
that.
energies for different chakras and different organs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I use these different frequencies of energies to help. Then the colors help. Then the food,
Okay.
natural food. If you see that in the universe, and it all gives you energy, the sound gives you energy, food
Hmm.
gives us energy in the body. But
Yeah.
how I use food is that if you see, the natural food is all colored food in the
Hmm.
nature. There are
Yeah.
different colors,
Yes.
and based on their color is also their nutritional value, the
Hmm.
vitamins, protein, the the salts in them, like magnesium, zinc, iron, all of that. And
Hmm.
if something goes off in one of your glands, you can actually heal yourself with food and nutrition. You can
Hmm.
actually heal yourself with sound. You can actually heal yourself with colors. You can actually heal yourself with yoga asanas. You can
Hmm.
actually heal yourselves with reflexology, because all of these modalities carry
What is
you.
reflexology? How
Yeah,
does it work?
it's pressing of the points in your body
Okay. Okay.
and massaging them to
Okay.
trigger the neurons to send messages and help you. So all of these use energy to
Hmm.
help you to come into balance, to align, to rebalance, to synergize, to charge your body and
Hmm.
your basically your glands.
So I would
All of
like to know one thing from you, Itu. Like you're saying that we have chakras, energies placed in our body, and that is a kind of what would you call it? Like
So these
it's
are
the.
energy centers somewhere close to our spinal cord, which
Mm-hmm.
carry the energy which is produced. How do I tell you? So think of them like the energy grids
It's
where
okay.
power is being generated with the
Hmm.
help of the glands and then passed through the various neurons that are scattered in the body.
Mm-hmm.
It send off energy to the body, the energy. So
So
whenever there
when
is an energy center, it will start showing you a symptom in the
that is
mind
what
or in
I
the
want to know,
body.
that when somebody is suffering from some physical condition, actually, is there any part that energy is also getting affected, or it's
Absolutely.
like okay?
I'll give you for very little example is the throat chakra, thyroid gland, and I
Hmm.
can lay my bet on it because I have had up teen case studies. People who do not speak their thoughts, people
Okay.
who do not honor their own words,
Okay.
people who are not able to communicate. They think 20 things but will say only one for the fear
Okay.
of not being accepted. Because when you don't honor yourself, those people would have either thyroid issue,
Okay.
uh, cold shoulder, heavy
Hmm.
shoulders, sinus problem, ear
Hmm.
problem.
Hmm.
And how beautiful it is that, through the energy work, you can actually heal yourself. Through yoga, you can heal yourself. Through food, you
Hmm.
can heal yourself. And it is said that, the best cabinet, medicine cabinet in our house is in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I am not saying that don't go to the doctor, but I'm
Hmm.
saying
Hmm.
don't go to that place where you need to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
If we can balance our thoughts, we can balance our body, then less and less we will go to that place where we need to, uh, you know, go to allopathic doctor,
Hmm.
go to
Hmm.
surgery,
Hmm.
things like that. But it can be avoided because
Okay.
it's a way to fit body and fit mind.
But for a common man, what is the best thing to understand these energy? Is like yoga, or maybe for me it's poetry. I would say writing helps me a
So
lot. It
you are
is a
doing. Everyone has their own way. So for me also, writing is a big part.
hmm. Hmm.
Writing therapy, I write every day, and I write because it helps me to um, get clarity. the
Hmm.
blur that I get. And it's been proven by research that when you hold the pen in your hand,
Hmm.
the nerves here go straight into your head, and that cobwebs in your head. And when
Okay.
you write down, you get
Hmm.
angry.
Okay.
You get
Wow.
anchoring of your thoughts. So all that cobwebs in your mind get anchored here. And when they get anchored, you get focused. When you get focused, you get clarity. When you get clarity, you get therapy. And there
Hmm.
are hundreds of uh, good effects of journaling. So I extensively use journaling therapy with my clients, especially for mind health.
Okay.
And it is said that in 21 days, it takes 21 days to start forming a habit. And in
Okay.
45 days, that habit starts to get into you. And in 60 days, that habit, it becomes part of you. And it
Ah.
takes 95 days to make it into a lifestyle. So it takes
Hmm.
that much time to undo the effects. But it
Hmm.
can be done. And I have people who have really come out of very, very severe mental health issues with the modalities that I use. But
Hmm. Hmm.
at the same time, I also work with their psychologist and psychiatrist as well.
Okay. Now you have talked about psychology. My next question is related to that only.
Tell
So,
me.
okay. I have this curiosity to know that first of all, let me tell you that I see dreams. They are very vivid, and somewhere I always see my dreams are mostly repetitive, and I don't know why. And the most common dream that I see is that I'm lost. I'm not able to find my way to home, and this is it keeps on coming. So I really want to know that uh, dreams are also our dreams also part of our psychological condition, and yeah, that's it. Dreams.
Yeah, so
I
they're
want to know.
absolutely part of condition. Their dreams are also messages and energy that is being sent to us to work on them, to think
Okay.
about it, to
Hmm.
again pay cognizance to it. And
Hmm.
I interpret dreams as well. So when you said that you are always lost in your dreams, your repetition of dream is trying to tell you to find the path that you're most scared to go. There is a scare, there is a fear within you, and you have
Okay.
to overcome that fear. The fear is being manifested in the dream as being lost.
Okay.
So you have to take, you have to hold the bull by the horns. That this is
Okay.
what I want to do, and I'm going to uh, manifest it in my real life,
Hmm.
in my reality, because otherwise it's coming again and again as don't do that because you'll be lost.
Hmm.
Don't.
Hmm.
So there must be something that you're wanting to do, and maybe you're not able to gather courage or gather money or gather support or maybe gather your own self, your
Hmm.
own courage, I would say, to do something that you want to do.
Hmm. Okay.
Pen down your dream. And when you write your dream and write it as vividly as you dream it, you may write it
Okay.
every time you dream it. And then when you write it down, you will understand there may be some difference in each dream.
Okay.
And and you'll find your answer in your dream only or in your writing.
I'll do that for
Yeah.
sure.
Try that. Let me know
Sure.
about it then.
Sure, I will. Okay. Now, this one, the next question is related to energies again, and I also believe in energy. You said to me earlier as well that energies are very strong, and I also feel them. Like my thought process is that I can actually feel the energy of someone sitting, if not in front of me, but like in a virtual world. I feel their energy. I don't know how. I feel that energies actually travel. They are transcendental, and I can actually read people's vibes. I don't know how it happens. It actually helps me also to do my work to create questionnaire like I'm doing interviews and all. So is it really true that energies actually travel?
They do travel, and you would have seen in these last 10 months, everyone is doing work virtually. And
Yes.
how are people able to read? So, in
Hmm.
psychological terms, the reading is possible. How is your Adam's apple going? How are you blinking your eyes? How are you putting your hands? What are you doing? How are you answering questions? Unknowingly, the non-verbal cues give us
Okay.
answers. And of course, vibes or energy, whatever you want to call them, are true. They are true for the universe. That is
Hmm.
how the nature operates.
Hmm.
That's how a dog on the street knows who's a dog lover and who's a dog hater. That's
Hmm.
how animal world exists. They have cues, they read energies, and
Hmm.
at the end of the day we are also part of that whole nature, no? So yes, energy and vibes are very, very true.
And if I have to say that, like we are human beings, is there any other kind of energy also that exists in, like apart from that is like energy that is not physical, something like apparition or something? Does do these things or they also exist in our world? Like because I, feel that sometimes if there's a place, I would feel from inside that I should not go there. Is it like my fear or it actually happens? Like.
So, each one of us has these skills. I'm no
Hmm.
special. Each one of us, all we need to do is trust yourself. So, if you start trusting yourself and if you start working on them, you will see and realize that over a period of time, you would actually know the answers better. So, what you're trying to tell me is that you're able to read people, you're able to read energy, you're able to know, preempt, or have a
I would
premonition.
share, okay, I would share a case with you. What happened is that this one of my friend, her name is Raylene, and I'm knowing her from like from last 4 5 years, and one of her, I guess one he was a nephew or someone was very a little child was suffering from leukemia. I guess it's a cancer, right?
Hmm.
So she was sharing many posts day after day, and I used to watch them, and I used to feel very sad, and I couldn't comment much. So what happened with me is that early morning I just dropped my children to school, and I came back, and I was feeling very sleepy, so I again slept. So I don't know, it was a dream or something, but I actually felt that that boy came to me and he patted on my shoulder, and I felt like the pat was very much like real. And I felt that he's standing in front of me, though my eyes were closed. But I'm feeling that I'm seeing him. And he had a smile on his face, and he came into that hospital, that gown that he used to wear. And the moment I, woke up and I had my breakfast and the normal routine, I saw the Facebook post, I got to see that he was no more. So this episode never left me. I don't know how, but
It's
this is something.
possible. It's possible because your whole mind and your thoughts were with him, were with your friend, though you were not talking about it. So there's something that I do is called neuro linguistic programming, or NLP. Neuroscience says that your thoughts are so powerful that you
Hmm,
can actually shift and change things
hmm,
outside of you by your thoughts, because
hmm.
when you think of something, you act upon it. And at that time you were drawing that energy from that child, and you could sense and feel what your friend was going through, and you
Okay.
could actually feel that he's no more without even knowing
I
it.
cannot forget that pat on my shoulder. It was so real. I
You
could
can,
actually do it.
it is possible because you
So,
were feeling so much that you could connect with the plight of your friend and that child. So
so
yes, it's
energy,
possible.
so
Yes,
energies do.
I have friends, and I do also do mediumship rarely. I can feel it, but I have friends in Australia and US who do mediumship, big time
Hmm.
medium. So it's possible because it's
Okay.
energy. It's all energy.
Yeah. So that's why I wanted to know that apart from the physical energy,
It's
is there any
possible.
form
Possible.
that's
It's also
possible?
possible because you are feeling so much.
Hmm.
Your energy is so heightened for the plight or whatever your friend was going through that you could feel it. So you were all invested in her.
But I thought again after that thing happened, I researched on it, and somewhere it was like you have suffered sleep paralysis or something. You might have experienced that. Those things were coming, so I got
So,
kind of
you know,
confused
that's also possible because um,
because my
science,
memory couldn't move at that time.
yeah.
So I
So,
felt.
a lot of research has said that, things like I talk about grounding, I talk about how you instantly get calm when you walk barefoot on the grass. Because what
Hmm.
happens is that your magnetic field comes in the contact with the magnetic field of the earth,
Hmm.
and it gives you calmness. It brings your heart rate down. It helps you to absorb the antioxidants that are present on the surface of the earth. Also, the pores of your feet are the largest, and
Hmm.
all this is very very beautiful to say. And science and research says that it happens. It's truth.
Okay.
And then on the other side, someone would say that no, it is not possible. So this dialogue between this is not possible, this is possible, is always going to be there. But I
Hmm.
would say that there is something about the generational knowledge.
Hmm.
4.8 million years of generational knowledge on this earth has something to do with how there was harmony and balance on the earth.
Hmm.
Vis-a-vis the 500 to 1000-year old science, which says a lot of things. But is
Yes.
it able to bring the balance in our lives, in our mind, in our body? No. So
Hmm.
there is something to it, but I would not like to debate about the fact that science
Hmm.
has done a lot of beautiful things to us also,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we are the only animal which has rationality,
Rationality. Yeah.
and we need to use our rationality for the better of for bettering the human race, for bettering the world. I think
Hmm.
which we are not doing. And I think
True.
all these alternative or complementing therapies, as I would call, help us to bring balance in our lives.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
And all the energy is about. And that's
But,
all karma is about.
yeah. So
Yeah,
these are related again.
absolutely related.
Okay. Now, I would ask you something related to the field that I'm more into, and you also do that. That is writing. So,
Yeah.
you also write. You're a poet as well. So, tell me, Bill, that do you incorporate poetry with the help of these modalities, or poetry is completely different from all these aspects?
Um, Somewhere it is part of it, somewhere it's a talk, the writing journaling therapy. I use it for my own self. It
Hmm.
helped me at the time when I was feeling very low and dark in my life. It helped me to really come out, poetry and pottery both. And I use it extensively as a therapy, but I use it otherwise also as something that I enjoy doing.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
I've been a student of English literature, my master's, my MPhil, and all of that in English. So I thoroughly enjoy writing.
Okay.
Um, but to me, poetry comes very intensely, and I think to everyone. When you're thinking something, when you're feeling something, you want to
Hmm.
write
Hmm.
about it, and that's what I do. So somewhere it is part of my work, but it is separate also. So I do write in Hindustani as well, and I do write in English. And something that I would like to just share with all of you. This was something that I wrote about like 5 years back or something. And
Okay.
this talks about things that I talk of. It
Hmm.
talks about imperfection. It talks about cracks in all of us. It talks about again mental health. Uh,
Hmm.
I also propagate semicolon movement. Semicolon movement was started by a young girl who lost her father to mental health. And
Okay.
semicolon in English we use as a uh, as not a full stop, but we use it for a pause in a sentence.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
So semicolon movement, and my first tattoo is also semicolon. It talks about the fact that I am the author of my life. I will
Okay.
choose to stop and restart.
Hmm.
So that means I take in my hands the reign of my life. That is one. And two, Nothing is perfect in life. No
Yeah.
one is perfect. Perfection is something that is thrown on us.
Mm-hmm.
And we, as a society, as human beings, as teachers, as parents, need to come out of that. And this poem is a celebration of that. And it's also a celebration of the fact that when I accepted myself the way I am. So it says imperfectly perfect. It says
Mm-hmm.
I
Wow.
have begun to appreciate the beauty of imperfection in life. That's how the allure of the world is to be experienced. We do not fathom this enchanting puzzle till we have walked a million mile experiences.
Mm.
Perfection is a farce that we weigh upon ourselves and underestimate the given life. The appeal is in the imperfect art. The grandeur is hidden behind the dark.
True.
This also talks about, I'm relating it to the Japanese art form because I'm a potter and a poet and whatever I do. Uh, Japanese art form kintsukurai,
Okay.
where when the earthen pots break, they are not
Cracks.
thrown away. The
They don't.
cracks are gold or silver, and
Mm-hmm.
their value increases, their life changes, the pots look different.
Kinds
But
of become symbolic that we all have cracks and we
but
are
we all have
overcoming.
cracks. We are all
Yes.
imperfect. We all have mind health issues. We
Yes.
all have someone would have ADHD. Some of us recognize them, some of us don't. But
Hmm.
we need to be a little more sensitive, and this
Hmm.
world needs empathy.
True.
More than anything else, we need empathy. And I think if
And
we are able to give our children empathy and emotional intelligence, then the
hmm.
world will be a better place.
Well said. Very nice. So thank you so much, Itu, for joining today, and it was really a great, inspiring session. I learned a lot from you. I'm sure the
Thank you so
audience
much.
who's watching
Learning has
may have.
been mine.
Yes, yes, I've really, it was an honor to have you, and you have taught me so many great things. And about that dream, I also remember that and do that for sure.
You can always reach out to me, and we will do your intensive dream interpretation.
Oh, wow, absolutely.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Itu, for joining
Thank you
today.
so much, Mona. Lovely. Pleasure's all mine. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Itu. So that was Itu with Chopra with us today, and she actually has guided that energies are really transcendental. They travel, so we need to, spread lots of love, positivity, even through virtual world. Many people are doing it, and so I would request everybody so keep doing it, and also write lots of poetry, lots of writing. And if you ever feel confused in life, just listen to your inner voice and your true calling. You have to follow that. So you'll be happy and content. So thank you so much today for joining the third web series of the 1 Hour Talk Show. I'm your host, Monalisa Joshi, signing off.